the people to suffer. They are already suffering, they've suffered enough. Thank you.
Mr. Sheba, let me just turn your focus to what is happening currently in Zimbabwe. What is your comment over the state of affairs?
We wish the people of Zimbabwe the best. We wish the people of Zimbabwe safety. We wish the people of Zimbabwe, calmness within stormy waters to probably help lead into a situation that Zimbabwe has been, and Zimbabweans have been expecting for too long, and it's not been coming. And that is to allow for, again, observance of the rule of law, to allow for Zimbabweans to enjoy human rights, liberties and freedoms, which they've not been enjoying for a long time. And a process then that will lead to peace and stability, that allows for free, fair, credible elections, so that leaders that care for the people of Zimbabwe are put in place. And then Zimbabweans don't have to migrate to neighboring countries, South Africa, and Zambia included. As you know, Zambia has hosted a lot of Zimbabwean refugees for the last probably 70 years, or 80, I must say. And this situation may be exacerbated now by the current situation in Zimbabwe. And finally, I want to say that it's a wake-up call to the SADC, Southern African Development Community, which has taken a laissez-faire attitude in proactively dealing with concerns of citizens of our region. The economic community for West African states is doing much better in this area. ECOWAS is more proactive. It takes interest in abuse of human rights, liberties and freedoms. It takes interest in the breakdown in the rule of law. We've seen ECOWAS take positive steps in Gambia, in Cote d'Ivoire, I must say, in Burkina Faso, and indeed in Mali, proactively, which SADC has not done. And SADC clearly now has been behaving in a manner we can describe as an attitude of scratch my back and I scratch yours. Ignore the rule of law in your neighboring country, which is a SADC member. Ignore the human rights abuses in a neighboring country and say nothing about my country when I break the rule of law, when I arrest citizens without the due process of investigations. And that's what's happening in this country. And today SADC, through the current head of SADC, President Zuma, is saying SADC is watching keenly. What are they watching keenly? Because Zimbabwe has been degenerating for the better part of the last 10 to 15 years. What did SADC do? Nothing. Now Zimbabweans are at the risk of losing lives and property and becoming refugees in bigger numbers yet again, when SADC has been basically sitting, having meetings like nothing is going on wrong in our country. Let's take interest in the affairs of each other. We are each other's keeper within Zambia. Let's take concern if there are abuses against citizens in our own country. And don't sit and say, because it's not me, then I say nothing. Because it's not Charlotte Scott, who is in court and is taking long, and nothing against the court. And we say, I have nothing to do with it, because tomorrow it will be you. Today is Zimbabwe, tomorrow it will be another country. We don't want that to continue happening. So let us provide leadership in our own countries, in the region, in Africa, and in the world. Thank you.
So issues back finally, sorry, Mr. Hitchens.
Not a problem.
Just wanted to get your comment over the dialogue process. Where are we? A few weeks ago, I do remember asking you where you were, especially with the head of state. Have you conferred? Where are we seeing the next step being taken?
We are ready, as always. We've been ready, as always, to engage in a dialogue process that is proactive, that is preemptive. Remember what I've just said about Zimbabwe. This dialogue process, which is mixed in our country, is so critical with respect to being proactive in restoring, number one, the rule of law, which is broken. No question about that. Number two, restoring respect for human rights, liberties, and freedoms. assembly, association, press, movement to demonstrate peacefully in our country. It's a constitutional right. Remember first I talked about respecting the rule of law, including the Constitution. So the dialogue process is supposed to restore human rights, liberties, and freedoms. The dialogue process is supposed to restore or reclaim a broken criminal justice system that considers citizens guilty before proven innocent, when it's supposed to be the opposite. And unfortunately, only certain sections of citizens of our country. So we need to deal with that, to deal with our legislature so that you have a parliament that can allow free flow of debate, to deal with, obviously, the judiciary, to ensure that we have fairness in the judiciary, and we have issues of lacunas in the Constitution. Article 104 of the Constitution, which is abrogated deliberately. As you know, when our petition was submitted, executive powers to move to the Speaker of the National Assembly. It did not happen. Somebody broke the constitutional provisions, and we Zambians are silent. The dialogue process is supposed to resolve this issue. The dialogue process is supposed to deal with release of political prisoners, detainees, Zambians fleeing into other countries. The dialogue process is supposed to bring about a truly independent electoral commission so we can avoid the mess of the 2016 11 August elections. Completely messed up, and we're still living in that mess. And the dialogue process, amongst other measures, is supposed to help us deal with these issues. So it's a very important process. We are available. I'm very grateful that today I'm standing between two colleagues, President Guy Scott. Don't call him former president, President Guy Scott, served as president, and President Mulongoti here. And all of you here must know that the country needs this dialogue process. Let's not play games around it. Let's not accuse each other. No, HH is not ready. No, this one is not ready.
When you say you are ready, are you waiting to be approached, by the president, or are you going to take the step to call and try and meet the president, like the way the envoys have been doing when they come into the country?
Let's put things in the right context. The dialogue process is already on the table. I'm sure you're aware that Baroness Scotland, Commonwealth Secretary General, set the process in motion, appointed the lead for the dialogue process in the name of Professor Gambari. You're aware of that as journalists. Professor Gambari took the next step thereafter to come to Zambia to do an assessment mission of what are the issues causing tension in our country. And as you know now, we cannot debate whether there's tension or not. There is tension in our country. And it's agreed. And then we expect that process now to move in train and move rapidly, one, in a structured way, number two, in a time-framed way. That is what we're expecting to do. So it's not about this mess you are hearing that, no, this one is not calling this one is. Let us get on with it in a structured, time-framed manner and basically involve various stakeholders. Let's get it done. Who is supposed to be providing that leadership? I think you know who is supposed to provide that leadership. We have, when I was out in London a few days ago, I met the Secretary General of the Commonwealth and emphasized the importance of not losing time. So I hope that this time loss somehow will be recovered and we get on with the job. We can avoid the Zimbabwe issues by paying attention to the dialogue process. Let's not play with this issue. Thank you.
Mr. President,
there you have it. We are on, transmitting to you live from the High Court, from the Supreme Court grounds, where Hakainde Hichilema, the leader of the UPND, was attending a court session which is involving Kawata, Central Member of Parliament, Margaret Nakato, as well as candidate Charlotte Scott. We also have a Vice President, the ex-Vice President rather, Guy Scott. Maybe we could just get his thoughts about what is happening in Zimbabwe. Mr. Scott, I just wanted to make your comment very quickly over what is happening across the border.
We're getting confused. So this is Baroness Scotland.
Wamba.
Not Baroness Scotland.
I mean about what's happening in
Just
Zimbabwe.
the successor to Mr. Satan started to learn the speakers of Oxford. I'm not going to comment upon the next one. That was something that Michael Satan would never do. I've adopted the same thing because they've got a problem, we've got a problem. We can learn from each other, and as soon as we learn from each other, we have to That's it. It's their baby. Our baby is what
Mr. Malongoti, you wanted to say something?
Yes,
President of Zambia, Mr. Edgar Chagwa, has been a close friend of Mr. Robert Mugabe. I'd like to encourage him to go and show solidarity now because he needs it so much. Remember, he's the one who came at his swearing in. Now we want Mr. Lungu to go and show solidarity with him wherever he is. I think that's our expectation. We're so close to him, we're so...